The two spots we worry about are the head and the heart. And if we're able to protect the head with helmets and other sorts of equipment, well, why aren't we doing everything we can for the cardiac workup and making sure that we're as prepared for an emergency as ever? My name is Corey Tremble. I'm currently the Director of Medical Operations for the Miami Marlins Baseball Club. So we reached out to Sports Medicine Emergency Management, which is run by Ed Strapp and Daryl Conway, who also happen to be the lead authors on the position paper for emergency action planning for athletic trainers. So we thought, who better than the person that wrote the script on how to do this the right way? We utilize the idea of building a house. And we kind of coin it that, home is where the heart is. And this is really how we focused on explaining the importance of not only preparedness for cardiac events, but also cardiac screening that we were going to do to help mitigate maybe long-term or future events. But when we're building a home, we need the blueprint. So that's the first step, and that blueprint is going to give us an idea of how we're going to do things. So what was that for us? That was bringing in a company to really make sure that we were hitting all of the pieces that we needed to for emergency action plan training, and making sure that we were dialed in as a staff and as an organization to ensure that if anything were to happen, that we were ready and prepared. We then looked at every house needs electricity. So we looked at the electrical aspect of the heart, and we said, okay, we're going to have everybody undergo an EKG or an ECG, depending on what part of the world you're from, to make sure that the electrocardiogram was done for all of our players. So we're going to make sure that the electric of our house is set. And then what we decided to do on top of that was take it one step further than most organizations do in baseball, and that was going to start a program where we're going to have baseline echocardiograms for all of our players. So now we're going to look at the plumbing of the house. So we felt if we were going to look at the blueprints and we were going to have strong electric and strong plumbing in our house, that we were really going to have a healthy house. And a lot of times for a young, healthy athlete, they'll never undergo an echocardiogram and find this information out. So what better way of showing that this organization and the support that we have to make sure our players are looked at past just when they're playing for the Marlins, that, making sure that we were equipping them with the knowledge of their health and body for the future. Traditionally, for most of your pre-participation examinations in professional baseball, you do a EKG or an ECG, an electrocardiogram. A lot of times you only focus on going to the next step to an echocardiogram if there is something found abnormal on that ECG or EKG. However, by doing baseline echocardiograms, we were in fact finding things that were not being found or not triggering the echocardiogram on the ECG or the EKG. So that was the number one thing that for years and years and years, we thought that this was a great first step to trigger a second. And then we realized, wow, we found some pathologies that are very easy to identify with an echocardiogram and not found on the EKG or the electrocardiogram. So that was one of the big telling aha moments for our program, was we were able to identify bicuspid valves that, although not an issue at present for any of our athletes and all were asymptomatic and not causing any issues, it's great to know that when they're going to be in their 50s and 60s that they're equipped with this information. With Avive AEDs, what was great about it from Jump Street was we were able to really see in real time how our units were functioning, if there was any errors, and the ability to recharge is great for our overhead across the board, because again, we end up, with other companies and other pieces, we end up having to buy new batteries, buy new pads. Well, with Avive, we don't have to go down that road. So it was great for a cost-effective side, but also portability and the ability to make sure that we have them in our go bags, they fit well, and still create a really good setup for us. And another piece that is great is the ability for the prompts to be in Spanish. And on our end of things, we have quite a bit of international players, especially in Latin America. So having AEDs that really speak the language of the possible users down at the Dominican Academy was another great piece for Avive with us. The platform that we utilize with Avive is run by me, so I will have the eyes on that throughout the season with the dashboard, so I know exactly where our AEDs are at, what's working, what's not, what needs to be done, and I can communicate with my staff and remind them, hey, check in on this AED, check on it on this one. We always know what is going on with our emergency equipment, and we're never going to be put in a position where we're reaching for it and it's not working or it's dead or anything along those lines. And that's what's great about the Avive AED. Because of its size, because of its portability, we can have this in go bags, and we can have these all around our academy here in Jupiter or in Lone Depot, so that we're always within 75 seconds of an AED. So ultimately, I think what I hope this does is it just sheds a light on, A, you can do this. I know it's a huge undertaking, making sure that your EAP is sound and set, making sure that you're checking out every aspect of the heart to ensure that you're putting an athlete out there out of harm's way. I think that once you get past those hurdles that you think are there, and a lot of the times they're not, it's pretty smooth sailing, and the back end of it is quite rewarding to see the outcomes that you get from this.